Well, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where it smells, I'm going to use a pun, heavenly today in here because we have a room full of apples. Yay! And we have two special guests here in the studio today. We have Jason and Michelle, and you have, give me the official name of the orchard.
Heavenly Harvest Farm and Orchard.
Heavenly Harvest Farm and Orchard. I wanted to say it right. I didn't want to mess it up. And did you get it? I said this, they smell heavenly. Yeah. Fun, huh? Yeah. So anyway, we are going to be talking about the new apple orchard here in our area, and we're so happy to finally have somebody back doing things that represent our heritage here in the community. So we're going to find out all about Heavenly Harvest in just a moment. First, we have a message, and I'm probably going to eat one of these apples, and then we'll be back right after this.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back with our good friends here because we just made friends, didn't we? Yes, Jason and Michelle, and you are the proud owners, as you should be very proud, of Heavenly Harvest Orchard and Farm, and you have actually brought us apples today, but we're going to find out all about you all and introduce you to the community. How's that?
Sounds good.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, well, tell us a little bit about yourselves, like your background and all that.
How long you got?
We have 40 minutes, so go for it.
All right, sounds good. So, to make a long story short, as short as I can.
Sure.
So my wife and I married in 1999.
Okay.
And I got my engineering degree. We moved away from this area. My wife's from Memphis. And
okay.
So we're from Sauter County, basically.
Oh, you both are. So you're local. You're originally from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we graduated college and then we moved away and for about 21 years, and we were in actually the last place we'd stopped was in Fairfield County, up in Amanda, Ohio.
Okay.
Just a little east of Circleville, between Circleville and Lancaster.
Gotcha.
And God had called me to preach late in life.
Yeah.
And so when we left this area, we kind of said I said two things. One is I'd never preach and I'd never be back. And so
well,
we're here. Lord's called me to preach. So, but anyway, it was a call late in life, and got started working on our heart about coming back to this area and starting some form of ministry in some way and being a light to the community. We thought his purpose for us was in Sauter County because that's where we were from.
Sure,
and,
that makes sense.
So we found an intermediate point between where I was working. I was working up the southeast side of Columbus, and so I drove it for a few years. We had the property that we have now opened up, and we bought it in early 2019.
Okay.
And so didn't know what we was going to do with it. We just knew we had farm. We kind of outgrew where we were at.
We brought about 25 down.
25.
Yeah.
We brought down about 25 of what we had up there.
They were
and so
newly planted. So
Okay.
they were only.
So you're not digging up like
No,
they were.
No, we had planted it maybe a year or two before.
And
so we basically dug them up and brought them down, just not knowing, Well, obviously we
Love
raised
that.
them for ourselves, and so it kind of grew from there, and Lord led us to plant more trees. So 2021, we planted 1,500. And
I mean, why not? We're in a global pandemic. Let's just plant some trees.
Well,
we don't
yeah,
have anything else to do, right?
That's the way it worked. I mean, 2020 we had COVID,
Yeah.
so that's when we actually started building on our property. We started building a little thing. When we got the land, we asked God to provide the material. So God provided the material. A lady asked my wife one day, "Do you want a free barn?" So we tore a barn down.
Wait, stop! Really?
Yeah.
That is such good news. Like that is so cool.
We took the material from an old barn, built a house,
Right.
or kind of a little cottage. We lived in it for about 5 years. We recently added on, but anyway, that's a whole different subject. But 2020 in the midst of
But yeah, Peter and Gloria.
Oh yeah, thank you. So
you
there's
forgot about.
so I should have let her talk. So what year was it? 2020.
Yeah.
2020, my wife, we were looking into ways, because I raise bees, ways to try to, raise an orchard and not damage the bees, because there was an orchard up in, what she found through the internet, up in Hebron, Illinois, and which my daughter later ended up going up there and working one of their apple seasons. But anyway, they were a real blessing. They took us in and they showed us their orchard, and it ended up they were showing us that they had used it as a ministry, because they were Christian people as well.
Sure.
And so they use it as a ministry to show people Jesus in their life and through their business. And so the man was a World War II veteran, just a wonderful family. But they took us in, they put us up in their house, and
wow,
never met us before, and it was
that's pretty cool.
So God used that as inspired us to go a little bit bigger than what we had. So that's when we in 2020 there's when we went up, and then we typically you order apple trees. It takes 2 to, depending on what variety you might want, 4 years. So they had some left over from COVID, and so it worked out to where we could get them the following year. So 2021 we planted.
Gotcha.
We were able to get them. Usually you don't get them that quick, so you usually have to order them. And
I love it when
100 apple trees in 2021, and then we had more room to add on. So in 2024 we planted another 1,000 trees, and then most of those were apples, but we did add some peach and pear and some cherry trees.
Sweet.
Same time we planted a bunch of Concord grapes for making. My wife makes a wonderful grape pie. I know that sounds crazy, but
whoa, wait a minute. My head just exploded. Grape pie?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
It is. That's what I was telling the church last night is, her and I was dating, and my mother-in-law, she said, Mom's making grape pie tonight. And I thought, she want to come over and eat some? And I'm thinking to myself, I love grapes, but I thought,
this is ridiculous, right?
It sounds terrible, but
yeah,
it's become our family favorite. So it's I don't know, family recipe has probably been passed down. So we'll probably end up, like right now we're running a bakery out of the house, like a home bakery. My daughters are, and so we've been selling that in our store, which I'm sure you'll probably ask about here in a few minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
But so anyway. Once next year, hopefully, they'll start making some grape pies to sell.
Okay, I just have to know, what is in a grape pie?
So it's like a Concord grape, and so you have to take all the pulp out. So you squeeze it, and it
that has to be so satisfying. You get to pop the grapes, right?
So, so then you you save all the skins, you put them aside, and then you take and heat up the pulp and stuff. And then you take it through a Foley food mill and take all the seeds out.
Okay.
So it takes a little while. That's what I'm like.
The labor's pretty tough here. Yeah.
So,
okay.
And so then you I don't know, add a thickener. I mean,
sure.
To it. Usually,
because if not, it'd be runny.
Right.
Yeah.
And sugar.
Yeah.
And I think maybe almond. I think that's all. And then you just put it after you heat it up, make it thick. You add the grape pills back to it.
Okay.
And then you bake it like a pie. So
I'm not judging. I am down to try some grape pie. You have to bring us one sometime.
Say all right.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I love that. That's great. Okay, so grape pie. I wonder if you Google it. Can you Google a recipe?
I think you can probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You're probably not the only one that's ever made a grape pie, but I've never heard of it before.
Only one close to it is a place in New York. We were vacation one time. Monica's Pies up in New York, but it was close. It was close, but it isn't as good as her mom's recipe.
There you go.
But that's where he got the idea of planting 300 grapevines.
The grapes.
Yeah.
Because a guy needs pie.
That's exactly right. Well, the community needs pie.
Yeah, the whole place needs a grape pie for everybody. You're gonna kill me for saying that, aren't you? They're so hard to make. But no, this is so cool, and so I have so many questions for you. So you all are officially kind of open, I guess, to the public now. But let's back up because you were telling me off the air about how the apples are actually planted. It's not per se like what you would think of as traditional, just like trees in a row.
Sure.
It's kind of different. So let's talk about that for a minute. What people will see when they come out to your farm and how the apples grow. It's really cool.
Sure. Yeah. So essentially, I know a lot of the old traditional. They would plant like a semi-dwarf tree, and they would space it out, and they would get a little bit a lot bigger, and bushier, so to speak, and obviously have a little bit higher yield. But they've started doing some new, with some of the new orchards have transitioned into, I guess, what I would call a high-density apple orchard, where they plant trees very close together. They're a dwarf tree. They plant them very close together. Like our trees are 3 foot on center, and
Whoa,
then they're 12 foot between rows. Whereas the semi-dwarf has to be spaced out a lot greater. But they grow up to about 10 foot tall, and they produce a high yield. So per acre you get more apples per acre.
Awesome.
So you can plant a lot of trees in a smaller footprint and get about the same yield, if not more, depending on the variety and species and so forth. So that's what we elected. You got to trellis them though, so that way it supports the supports the tree itself. And
so I had the weirdest thing happen this year. My husband and I, we've lived at our house for, I don't know, like 22 years. We built it about 22 years ago. And one of the first things we did was I ran across a dwarf apple tree at some store, a big box, I don't know, Lowe's or Walmart or somewhere. And I was like, okay, I have to plant this tree. I just, want to plant this apple tree. So it took it a few years, and then it started making apples and all of this. And so we had this apple tree forever, and we would use it for, we own the brewery in town, so we would use it for we put it in beers, we would put it in food, whatever. We would take all the apples home. The crazy thing rotted and fell over this year. Just died. It just
wasn't that old?
It was 20 some years old.
That's about typical. Yeah.
Is that
there's a life expectancy?
It was during the when we had all that rain.
Sure.
It just.
Yeah.
I was so sad. It's like part of it's like our baby,
Yeah.
So yeah. So they run their course then.
Correct. Yeah, they'll produce. They produce heavy and for a certain amount of time, and then unfortunately that's part of that part of farming.
It's a circle of life, right?
Yeah. You gotta recycle them out.
So yes, and the deer and we had an understanding because they got the bottom half of the tree and we got the top half of the tree.
That's been one of our big enemies.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. How do you? I mean, obviously, listen. Nature again takes its course, and so deer are not
rabbits.
Your friends, yes, all the critters out there. So how do you combat that?
Well, we for the deer, we put a fence around it. Put a fence around the perimeter of it.
I got you. Okay.
And then, we got with the game warden, just because if anything gets in there, we have permit. But right now, the fence does a really good job.
Good.
And,
okay.
We had a couple getting in there before, but they'll come in, eat the top, and stunt the growth, and sometimes kill it, but. Apples have been, apples, the rabbits have been a terrible enemy to apple trees. Yeah, especially in the winter, they eat around the bottom of it, so they eat the cambium layer, and so they'll kill an apple tree very easily. So we gotta go out there and hunt them at night. And
the rabbits are worse than the deer. Then it sounds like
right because the deer will break the trees, but it doesn't truly. I guess kill them.
Sure.
But when they are ate at the bottom, that will kill them.
That gets them. Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't.
So you can.
Bunnies are cute, but
guards,
not that cute.
Right.
Yeah. So, but God's been good. I mean, we've lost some, but we've been able to transplant and replace them and stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean it is. It's just a part of doing business. While frustrating, it is part of doing what
like
you all do.
Anything else you learn as you go too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how does the how do the bees and the trees work together? How does that whole situation flow?
I've kept bees even before. Well, about the same time we had. That's why we got bees, wasn't it? Because we had trees for pollination. My son Jacob like that. Yeah. Anyway, so how they work together.
I will say, I always say this: you have to be have a special kind of aura. I feel like about you to do the bee thing. Like, I feel like if you're really high strung or you're like a nervous person or whatever, you're probably
you
it's not for you.
No,
yeah, it's not.
So
you need to be
relaxed,
chill.
and calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I took bee classes, that's one of the first things said it's a stress relief, and I thought, how in the world is that stress relief? But it is. It truly is. Oddly, you got to force yourself to relax because the bees will sense your anxiety or
they feed right off of you.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah. They can sense your pheromone. They can sense your stress or anxiety
or fear. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So but bees are wonderful. I mean, it's one of God's creation that just never ceases to amaze me, and so I started out keeping.
They're
the
a
bees.
whole. We could do a week's long show about bees, couldn't we?
Yeah. So of course I started keeping them, and then my wife, my schedule got pretty busy, so she's been doing a lot of the work for the beekeeping too. So
so you delved into
She
the
had.
beekeeping
I don't
also.
I don't know what I'm doing. I just feed them and do.
So she takes.
Yeah.
She'll call me and ask me what to do. So, but
he took.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That's neat.
Yeah, but we've got kids that are helping and with everything that we've got going on too. So
sure.
We're doing maple syrup. We plan on trying to do that this coming winter.
Fun. So you have like the buckets tapped to the trees and all that.
We've done that, and we've done the piping system that you come out with taps and vacuum and all that stuff. So
okay.
There's a lot of ways to get maple syrup.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, you can do gravity, or you can,
We had a guy in here not too long ago, and he's kind of taken over a farm there. Well, kind of over in Scioto County, where they do sorghum.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. And they have a sorghum festival at the farm and whatever. And so we were talking about that and the difference between syrup and sorghum and all that. So it's really interesting.
It's a labor of love, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to,
There's a reason why it's as expensive as it is. Because there's a lot of labor that goes in it.
What we were talking about is true maple syrup that isn't like, corn
Watered
syrup
down.
and water or whatever. You go to the store, you're Mrs. Butterworth's is not true maple syrup.
No,
we all like it, but
Close.
it's not what you all are doing and talking about. But that is why it's so expensive. Well, let's talk about, because off the air again, we were talking about all of these beautiful apples, which you can see here, and they're all different varieties. And let's talk about the different varieties that you all have and what you brought in today, and what each of them kind of like taste like, or their characteristics, if you would, because you were doing a really good job.
You're better at that than I am.
Yeah.
So Honeycrisp is this one, and this one right here.
Yes.
Okay. And most people, that's like the favorite.
I feel like that's a sought after, like, there's Honeycrisp at the store. Yes.
So we have about 500. We planted about 500 Honeycrisp. So we do have tons of those, but
nice.
They grow or ripen early, like in August. So so
they're kind of the first ones to come out.
One of our first ones.
They keep really well.
Good.
Also.
Okay.
And then this one's like a pink lady, and it's kind of, I don't know, like sweet kind of, and I don't know. Lots of people like it.
Pink ladies are smaller.
They are smaller.
Okay.
This is Fuji. This is my favorite. It's kind of sweet, but a little bit sour too.
Oh, kind of like me. Just kidding.
But so I don't know. We probably have 100, maybe 100.
100 of them.
Okay, 100.
I think.
I think we maybe planted 50 last year.
Okay, so 150.
Maybe a striped one.
Oh, that you're
maybe.
Right.
I think.
You're right. I forgot about that.
I don't know. I think so.
We had a second planting, and we planted some similar varieties.
Yeah, cool.
And this one is Golden Delicious. This seems like
it's like green but sweet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and that seems like
it seems to be a favorite down this way.
There's
everyone people have been asking for Golden
seems
Delicious.
to like this one. And then this one's Northern Spy, and I think we only have about 25 of them, and they're kind of sour.
Northern
Spy.
Spy.
S-P-Y. Yes.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I think all in all, we've got about 30 varieties.
Maybe I think a little over.
Not all of them are producing just yet, but
I haven't heard of Northern Spy before. That's interesting.
So we have we have one called Cox Orange Pippin, which is like more of a cider apple. So some of them these would be better for cider. So when you make cider, you mix like two sweet apples to one kind of sour apple to make a good flavored cider.
Yeah, we need to get together because we just got our cider license at the brewery, so we've been making cider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of so you want some sour apples and not all sweet.
Yeah, like kind of a semi-sweet thing is what most people want.
Right.
Yeah. Not all dry or all I gotcha. So you have all of these different varieties here. So what are some of the like maybe just like a weird variety that you have that you love that maybe nobody knows about?
I don't know. I think a lot of it, especially like, I mean, you mean people around here don't know about?
Yeah.
I don't know, what's some of the ones that we got? A lot of those.
We got that real big, huge one. It grows a pound apple.
Okay, that's cool.
I can't remember the name right off.
The variety list.
Yeah,
you can make a whole pie with one apple.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. What's the one? Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Our daughter's the one that has.
She has them all like.
She knows her stuff. Huh?
Yes, so she's the one that worked at the orchard, and honestly, she has it all. She's real like good with the computers and stuff. Everything's like organized and
a lot of them
love
it.
But yeah, we have mostly traditional. I mean,
but we do have smaller quantities of those special.
Of the more obscure ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So like a Rosalie.
Rosalie, that's one I was trying to think of. That's
our 19-year-old daughter's favorite apple. So she like loves it. So we have it named a little horse after Rosalie because that was she really, really loved apples.
Love that.
And so anyways, so there's that and it's kind of like this one, kind of a smaller apple.
Okay.
Kind of sweet and crunchy. I mean, I don't know. But
do you have so let's talk about, I think that you planted this orchard and then I think that you had plans to, open a store at your farm.
So we actually opened the store this year.
Right. So that is so cool. So tell us tell us where this is because people need to know, right?
Our farm is off of Beaver Pike. So if you head out of Jackson towards Beaver, on Beaver Pike, Liberty General Store's on the right.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you go past, the next road to the left is Hunter Road. It's a dead-end road, so it goes back there and it crosses the railroad bed, the old railroad bed. It's called Ramey Road now. And so where that intersects, where Hunter and Ramey intersect, our farm is on that left quadrant. So we've got 100 acres there.
Oh, wow.
You'll see a big brown barn at the bottom of the hill, and then kind of back to the left of that barn and behind it, so to speak, there's a grain bin. And so we put a grain bin up there, and we ended up opening the store in that grain bin. So we're selling apples out of the grain bin this year. We weren't planning on opening until next year, but Lord bless us with a good harvest this year.
Yeah.
And so we're selling what apples we got, and we're only open for the next 2 weekends. We've been open since September. And so, but anyway, we're only open next 2 weekends from Saturday only. So we're at about the end of our apples, and
gotcha.
And so we've got
exciting.
The store. Or willing next year, we want to try to do something a little different and open up God's blessed us with animals and other things on our farm and a lot of fun things to do. So we want to open that up, and our goal is for our farm to become a ministry to the community and show people Jesus. I mean, that's kind of our intent, is we want to attract families and kids, especially. Kids are a real passion, especially for my wife. She's got a lot of really creative ideas, and without, telling her secrets, I guess, but she's got a lot of things that she wants to do and plan. So she's the one with all the great ideas. I'm just a part of the labor. And
you're the doer, huh? She's the idea, and you're the doer.
She's a doer, that's for sure. I mean, she doesn't just dream it up or think of it up. I mean, she's right there in the middle of it. And of course, God's blessed us with 8 children, so all the kids they have a part. My oldest son does a lot of the earthwork there. He started his own excavating, so
great.
he does that on the farm, but the other kids are ones that are helping. Like our youngest three were picking apples. They picked the apples this year. Cheap labor.
Right? Yeah. Love that though. No, that's great. It almost takes to do what you're doing. You do need like family. I mean, you know,
Right.
you're not. It's that's great that it's a family affair. And
it's
Right.
that you're able to do
that's
that.
probably why a lot of orchards. What we're hearing is there used to be a lot of orchards here at one time.
There were.
And so
Just
I would imagine
no
that
labor.
because there was exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're fortunate. Our kids all work hard, and so they haven't shied away from any of it. Everybody has a part in it.
Do they all love apples?
They do.
They do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I heard Josh talking when I was driving in this morning, and you guys were on the radio. Josh said he doesn't like apples. I'm like, I don't know that I've ever met a person that doesn't like apples. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But we still love you, Josh. It's okay. We all have to have a flaw, right?
Right.
So what are Miss Idea over here? Can you give us a little sneak peek of maybe some of the ideas that you're thinking of to add to the farm for next year?
So it would, I don't know, kind of like I don't know. It's kind of would be hard to go up our driveway. We live on a big hill.
Okay.
So our house and the orchard and everything's up there. So we thought we could possibly, people could park at the bottom. And then we could do hay rides up and then
Fun.
say like around, the orchard. And then if they wanted to, stop, and get out and, see the animals. So we have geese and goats and turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and horses. Donkeys and cows. So we have
All the fun stuff.
we have a ton. Of animals.
You have a virtual petting zoo yourself, right?
So we do. So the kids, they have a passion for animals. So I don't know. And then I do homeschool the kids. So and we use a Christian-based curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, one book that we use was like with farm animals and how they can be, the ministry that
Cool.
you can learn from, animals. And actually the author gave me permission to like blow up her stories and put them like behind, the cages of the animals. So the kids
fun. Okay.
so to speak, get a little bit of,
They learn a little bit
yes.
too.
So,
Love that.
But basically, we just want to use God's creation and what God's blessed us with to teach people about God, about Jesus, and because really His creation points to Him. Really, there's so much can be learned, in nature that the show.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but so anyways, that's, I guess,
I
the
love
hayride.
Who doesn't love a good old hayride, Like,
So we're still praying about maybe doing part of it of the orchard as you pick. Some of it's still young. Like the
That's
trees
cool.
we planted last year was 2024, and so
Right.
it'll be probably another 4 or 5 years before they start producing it, or before we let them produce any fruit.
so, obviously you have apples, but you mentioned maybe pears and peaches, and then you mentioned cherries. I don't know that I've ever seen cherries growing. How do
they're
they?
on a tree.
They
Yeah.
grow on a tree?
Yep.
That sounds so stupid. I can't believe I didn't
Yeah.
How do you?
So we've got pie and sweet cherry. So there's pie cherry, which is a tart cherry, and then sweet cherries like your Bang and those different varieties of
that you would buy at the
sweet
store.
cherries.
Yeah. Do they? So they grow well in our area.
We're gonna find out.
So, yes.
But
you'll have to report back on
supposedly,
that.
Yeah. Based
Right.
on the rootstock that we ordered and so forth, they should do just fine. The only thing that
Birds.
birds and also nature with the frost. That's one of the things. The peach trees.
yeah.
We got the late frost. So thankfully the apples are pretty resilient to those late
Right.
frosts, but the peaches are very sensitive to
Are
it.
they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even a lot of the orchards around here, if they have those kind of things, they struggle with them. So
What do you do to kind of combat that? Can you cover them, or I mean, because
there's a lot of ways, but sometimes it's expensive. The place up in Hebron, they've give us some proprietary methods that they use, so
sure,
we might try those, but yeah, it's all up to the Lord, whether or not, so we'll just see how he handles it. So.
If we're supposed to have them or not, to
we anticipate they'll do well.
Right.
I mean, like some of the things that don't normally do well have been doing well. They're on the farm, so.
Well, it sounds like it's all meant to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you all are open the next 2 Saturdays,
Yes, ma'am.
What are the hours there?
So on Saturday it'd be from
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
Okay.
So the next 2 Saturdays.
Next 2 Saturdays,
Yep.
9 to 3. So if you have, maybe you're doing a apple pie for Thanksgiving, or just want to do something fun like that, it's a perfect opportunity to buy local and support.
Afterwards, she's taking
your
our
farms.
daughters run the bakery, so they're going to take special orders, for like just private message, and just if there's any, like for,
See, you don't
for
even
the
have to
holidays.
do it yourself. Can I order a grape pie?
We should have do we
I
have
think
those?
we did can some, so we have some grape stuff canned. So I don't know, probably. I mean, so you can ask her.
Okay, we'll see. That is awesome. No, I really need to taste a grape pie now. You've got me fascinated. Do you eat them? Do you put like ice cream on them or anything like normal? Like
ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
Sin.
Everything's better with ice cream.
You are not kidding. That is so true. Yeah, I laugh here. We talk about it a lot, like, Thanksgiving, pumpkin pies at Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, I like some pumpkin with my whipped cream. Like, you got like the whole tub of Cool Whip on top of this poor little piece of pie.
Right.
But yeah, you got to just dollop the ice cream all over the thing, right? That's how it goes. So, okay, so next 2 Saturdays, you will be open 9 to 3. Can people just show up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Same.
So it's at the bottom. Our grain bin is at the bottom. So that's where the store's at. Right now, we're not able to get people up to the top. We've had,
A fire last year.
A fire last year. So that area is under construction. So it's kind of difficult. So, unfortunately, we can't. It's not real friendly for, traffic up that way. So next year, Lord willing, we'll be able to let people up there and see, because I'm sure there's a lot of curiosities. Like, hey, when they drive up,
for
it's like,
sure.
where's the apple trees at? But we have 100 acres, so up on top of the hill where it flattens off is where our apple trees are.
Yeah, and so this year you might not be able to experience like seeing all the trees and all over the property, but because Miss Idea here has all these great ideas, next year it's in the plans, right?
The same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alex
same.
put some pictures of it in the paper, I think, the picture of the orchard in
Yes.
the paper, yeah.
Same.
And then
it's very
my daughter's
cool.
posted a couple pictures on Facebook, but
Do you have some signage out that way, like if people are driving and they
yeah,
are like,
so right now,
I'm not sure where to go?
Right now, we just have the
Just
like
those
the
little signs that
like the
say,
yard signs.
about that big, that say
As you're driving
apples
past.
and cider and cider.
I
donuts.
gotcha. No, that's good.
So-
So if you see those, you're in the right direction.
Yeah, so
Same.
we've got homemade apple cider donuts. We do our own cider. That we press our own cider there, so it's not pasteurized. So if you want the good
Okay.
stuff, it's it's
Yes.
the good stuff. My opinion, a lot of what you get today is pasteurized. So I like it without pasteurization because I think it has all the good stuff in it. And then
Heck yeah.
apple pies, apple dumplings. That's been actually a pretty big hit here lately. The apple dumplings. My daughter makes a good apple dumpling. Cinnamon rolls. Pretty
Again,
much anything.
all the ice
Anything.
cream.
Yes.
Yeah, ice cream. We can't sell ice cream just yet. You got to have get it approved through the health department. But
Yeah.
everything else we're approved through.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, we should talk about this cider thing sometime, but we won't do that. We won't do business on the air. How's that? So very cool. So I'm trying to think what else we needed to ask you before we let you get out of here. What are the so what will you do after you're not open? what is there to tend into all the trees, I guess is what I'm,
Pruning.
obviously it's a year-round situation.
Yeah,
You don't,
for sure.
You don't just plant them and let them go.
Right.
No.
So
you've gotta
what
prune
all do
them.
you have to do?
Yeah, obviously you keep the enemy out, with the deer and all
Well,
those things.
and the
That's a
bunnies.
constant.
Right.
Yeah, and then obviously prune in the
late winter.
late winter, early spring. Obviously before the greens start, before they start to green up and everything. Your sprays, just taking care of them, watching them, make sure, that.
Do you go out and talk to
thinning them
them?
out.
Do you tell them you love them and stuff?
Not quite.
I feel like that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Just walk around and say, "You're
It
so
is.
pretty today."
Yeah, it is a good time to talk to the Lord, but I don't talk to the trees. I do-
Okay. Well, he's talking to somebody out there,
Yeah.
so that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't know how much work was involved in. It's like you go to the Christmas tree farm, right? And you assume that somebody just plants a tree and that's it, but it's not. They're out there
Right.
shaping them
No, it's
year
it's a-
year after year after year, and all of that. So there is a lot of work to this. You don't plan it and
Right.
forget it.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So what would you like to tell, the public or, our listeners today about, your hopes for the farm and the hopes for our area?
Yeah. I mean, again, honestly, we want the community to know that we're here and we have a burden for, again, for families, for kids, and, we're not going to hide it. We're a Christian organization. We're a Christian farm family. And
Sure.
so when you come to our farm, you're going to hear about Jesus, and that's our goal, is to make sure people understand that,
Yeah,
about-
God let it,
God's
everything
blessed us, what God's blessed us with, and
grow, and if it wasn't, it wouldn't be possible without Him.
Sure.
So
but we just,
Same.
we're not looking to make a bunch of money. We're just looking to be, kind of something for the community to come, this, people, because there really wasn't a whole lot necessarily in this area, with that type of thing in mind. I know there's some other things coming, up now, but yeah.
It is very ironic that, we do have, over the years, we had all of these orchards,
Right.
a bazillion of them, and then just one by one, slowly they disappeared.
Yeah.
And I think the last one closed a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But here you are today, starting that tradition over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And how cool is that?
Yeah, they've actually been. I think Richard Brothers.
Yes,
you're talking about. So they've actually been a help to us. We've got all of our apple crates have come from Steve.
we bought
and
them from
Steven.
them.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're carryover, and actually.
And actually, the
Yeah,
farm
he's-
in Lucasville, Bentley Family Farm,
Okay.
which they do a wedding venue and stuff down there.
I gotcha.
He's
Okay.
helped, he's
That's
helped us
cool.
out with some equipment.
But it used to be an apple orchard.
Really?
And so
Okay.
he helped us out as well. So we've had, I don't know, God's just put the right people in our path and opened doors, and it's been, say, amazing, because getting started, is a lot of
Oh.
investment, and
It is.
so people have, I don't know, God's just been with us the whole time.
Well, I think
way.
that, listen, you're like-minded with folks that obviously were doing the same thing, right? So they were doing apples, and they want to keep that, even if they're not doing it themselves anymore, they want to.
Sure.
They love
Right.
they love the orchard, and they want things like that to thrive around our area and for our local people. Every kid should, get to go out, and I remember my mom taking me to Richard Brothers when I was a little girl and going and picking the apples, and it was just like, everybody should get to experience that. Like
yeah.
that's
Right.
it's just so wholesome and fun, and so it's just a neat thing that you all are providing for our community. So thank you for that.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
you're
I mean,
welcome.
we're very thankful for all the support the communities provide. I mean, it's been amazing. We had one person find out. We never expected to sell much this year. We thought, well, what we don't sell, we'll put up ourselves. But
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up having a lot of people come, so we're thankful for the support of the community. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been reaching out. I mean,
Great.
just all over the community. They had a ribbon cutting, and so there was a lot of
Awesome.
even some representatives from some of the the Congress and Senate, and then mayor was there, and
Yeah.
the Chamber of Commerce was there.
Absolutely.
And we're here today, so we're thankful for
yes.
and even a lot of some of the small businesses in this area have reached out and have been a help and welcome us, and it's a pretty neat community. I wouldn't expect in this kind of welcoming, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I would just because it's just our Appalachian culture. We talk about it here.
Yeah.
People make fun of us down here, but we're pretty cool people, really, and kind and generous. No, I think it's neat when local people can work together doing local things.
Yeah.
That's great. So, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time.
Oh, well, we appreciate you coming in. And can I keep an apple slice?
Of course. So yes, help yourself.
Which one do you think?
This one's my favorite.
This is your favorite? Okay.
But-
this is the Fuji one, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay.
And then most people
We're gonna
like
try
the Honey
these.
Crisp.
Honey Crisp, Fuji. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Pete Wilson just walked in the door. And so I think we have another message or two. And I'm going to eat apples. Then I'll tell you which one I like the best.
Okay.
And we'll be back with Pete Wilson and some news in just a moment.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
I'm back. I'm eating apples. They're so good.
Oh, they're great. Hey, you know what? They say an apple day, but you can really do more than one.
I could totally get myself into trouble doing lots of apples.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Very
great.
good.
Very healthy and very good. Sometimes
Yes,
sometimes those
and
things-
very local, which
sometimes-
is great.
Yes, sometimes those two things don't go together, healthy and good. Oat bran is in that category.
Yes, that would, yes, I agree with you 100%. All right, well, I'll tell you what, we are back with Pete Wilson, and we have some news, so we'll let you go for it.
Okay. Of course, tomorrow is the general election. Tuesday, November the 4th. Don't want you to forget that. If you decide not to vote, that's your choice, but we want to make sure that you do know that the time is there. If you haven't done in-person early voting or absentee voting, still a little bit of time for absentee voting because those ballots can even be turned in as late as tomorrow or dropped off at the Board of Elections office, mailed in as long as it's postmarked by midnight tonight. Mm-hmm. Early in-person voting, if you heard us talk that up, and print that up in the paper multiple times, you've missed the boat. The last time to do that was yesterday afternoon from 1 to 5. But the same day polling locations will be open tomorrow. That's still when the majority of people do it. Mm-hmm. And so I do want to say this, and I will remind everybody tomorrow, of course, the polls are open in the state of Ohio at each polling location, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., and in Vinton County, very important, voters are voting at new locations, new consolidated locations. There's only 3 of them. It's the 3 elementary schools in the MacArthur area.
Yes.
You've got Central Elementary, which is in MacArthur. You've got South Elementary, which is just north of Hamden. And you've got West Elementary, which is at Allensville. And basically, the Board of Elections has it set up geographically, but if you need to check, your websites check the newspaper, of course, and the newspaper website. We've had listings of where those poll locations are. Everybody's been informed ahead of time, of course, with postcards, and the Board of Elections has been very good up in Vinton County to try to let people know. But if they're not paying attention or old habits, you got to remember your voting location has likely changed in Vinton County because they're going to all 3 elementary schools there in MacArthur, Hamden, and Allensville. And now for several years now, the voting locations have been consolidated in Jackson County as well. There's only 3 locations. You've got Jackson High School Fieldhouse, you've got the Wellston High School Gymnasium, and you have got the Madison Jefferson Firefighters Bingo Hall in Oak Hill. So we'll review all that tomorrow, and we'll also give you a little bit of an election preview. Can't list all the names that are on the ballot and all the levies on the ballot because there's a lot. There really is when you add it all up. It is a very local election. For instance, like in some of the city, villages, and townships, those races or contests or peoples that are on the ballot, it's only in that locale. There's not very much that is so-called county-wide, but everybody has some important decision to make, whether it's electing a member of village or city council, a school board member, a township trustee, voting on a levy. All those things are very important. And so in both Jackson and Vinton counties, that will be on tap tomorrow. We'll give you tomorrow the shorthand version of some of the more interesting ones in my mind that are on that ballot tomorrow. Okay. But we do want to remind everybody, maybe not remind them because I'm not sure I said it, but it should be assumed that we will be doing live election returns on the radio and video as well on one of the platforms. Not sure if probably the Telegram news.com for sure, or the Telegram Total Media Facebook page, a video there live. And we will probably go on no later than 8 o'clock, working out some of the details. And remember, unfortunately, it's not like it was in the old days where we get precinct by precinct reports. We either get 2 reports or 1 report, but we don't know when we're going to get them. And we'll, do reports every 15 minutes is the plan. And when there's something new, we'll certainly throw that out there, let you know where things stand, and hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we'll see when it'll all be done, because of the number of write-in candidates.
There's a ton.
That may have an effect. I don't know whether how that will affect the counting, but obviously, that's where people are writing in names as opposed to them being already printed on the ballot. And speaking of the write-in candidates, if you haven't been to the polls yet and you're wondering how that'll work, where there in those races where there is a write-in candidate, or even if there's a write-in candidate and there's not a race, there's not going to be a name on the ballot. There's going to be a line and it's going to say write-in. So you got to know who it is that you want to write in, and you got to put in that name correctly. Now, here's the thing. I know that if you're voting on a certain thing, you're probably going to know that and be prepared to do that. But at the Board of Elections offices, or at the polling places rather, when you go in to vote, the same case was there for early voting when you voted at the Board of Elections. They do have a list that you can request, and they will show you who the write-in candidates are.
Well, and I was just sitting here thinking, because, sometimes spelling names can be difficult.
I think if it's spelled wrong, it probably won't count.
Yeah, and so you need to make sure that you're writing it down properly.
Right, now that is an assumption on my part.
I don't know,
Because it can be pretty technical, on the applications and the candidate filings and all like that. But they will give you a list. They won't necessarily be one posted. But as a matter of fact, I don't think they are going to be posted at the polling locations. But they are. There will be a list that they will give you if you ask for it, and then you can be sure who the write-in candidates are, and you can put the name in of those ones that you want to vote for.
Okay.
All right. We are compiling a list now, Jennifer. We hope to get this online later in the day. But remember, we shared with you on Friday what we thought was a very big story, and that is, the loss of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits that affect 1 in 5 Jackson County. It's actually just a little bit higher than that. I'm guessing that ratio is about the same in Vinton County. I didn't get that number, but we're talking about a major impact there. Starting on November the 1st, those benefits, money for those benefits were not going to be available. Now, a federal judge has ruled that the federal government, the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, which has, they handle that program federally, and then it comes to the states, that they can use and must use contingency money. That's going to have to be wrangled out because the federal government thought they couldn't do that. So I'm not sure how long that'll take, but there could be a solution to this, at least short term, coming up very soon. But right now we have to assume that those SNAP benefits, that's the acronym for that program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, isn't going to be there. All right, Tammy Osborne Smith, the director of the Jackson County Job and Family Services, which is the local gate for where these benefits come, she challenged the community to step up and help these people. Let me tell you what, it is happening. It is something. We're still working on it, but we already know whether it is a meal, whether it is a food drive, whether it is filling blessing boxes. There is at least 5 or 6 things that we already know of that community organizations or churches are challenging the community to jump on and do. And so, this is a big deal. When we use those figures, those families count mainly on these SNAP benefits to buy groceries and food for their families. So we will be coming forth with that list. One of the first things that happened, the Nazarene Church, the First Church of the Nazarene in Jackson, did do a takeout meal on Saturday, and I understand they had a nice turnout for that. And most of these places that are doing this, it's not like you've got to show your ID or your income or anything like that. They want to help anybody that needs help. Principally, of course, they're thinking of these people that have lost, temporarily at least, their benefits from the federal government. So we will be reporting on that. We'll be putting it online as quickly as possible. I think we told you, but we're going to remind everybody too, if you are a probationer with the Jackson County Municipal Court, this is supposed to be reporting week, Monday through Friday. That's one of the legal requirements you have to do when you're on probation. They have, because of the situation with the SNAP benefits, some of the probationers may be among those that receive the SNAP benefits or their families. They will give you a free meal when you come in for lunch. If you come in to report, they will give you a free lunch of hot dogs, chips, either hamburger, hot dog, chips, and water. And you can also do your due duty of reporting. Your monthly reporting. You
have to be there anyway.
On your probation. That is at the Jackson County Municipal Court there at 295 Broadway Street. Okay, we want to tell you also, Jennifer, we're aware that one of the big things happening in Vinton County that is ongoing is the construction of the new Rio Grande MacArthur Center, which will be kind of like the branch campus. That picture was taken at night. That's why you see the lights off, the flash there off Red Thompson's camera. But that gives you an idea of where that building is. You can see it's up there, and they expect to have that building. Randy Evans Construction expects to have that building, ready so Rio Grande can use it. The college can use it sometime early in 2026. We haven't heard any date that has been put out as a possibility of when they could move into that building, or if it's going to be lined up with the start of a semester or whatever. But that building is coming along. I'm sure there's a lot to do inside the building, but as you can see, it looks like the bricks and mortar are up there.
Pretty cool.
That, of course, is over on the west side of MacArthur in the Cherry Hill Lane development zone there. All right. I want to also remind people, speaking of helping people, the Jackson County Gear Grinders took over what used to be some time ago. The Secret Santa. They've been doing this for several years. It's the Shifting Gears for Christmas Cheer. They turned from a car club into a Christmas support club. Shifting Gears for Christmas Cheer is what they call it. Well, they have already cut off their applications. I think we didn't hear that much about it, but it must have been an online thing. And they actually cut off on October 5th because they've got so many applications. Get this. Last year, they filled applications for 330 families in Jackson County.
Whoa.
And as of the time that they reported they're cutting them off, and this was October the 5th, this is several weeks ago, they've got 650 applications. The Jackson County Gear Grinders for their Shifting Gears through Christmas Cheer program. Now, you can still kind of sign up and kind of be on a wait list, but that doesn't look very promising considering how many applications they already have. And
Wow.
right, there's the other ways that you can help, which we'll talk about later. Jenny Ball does Jenny Ball and Josie Rader do things to help also get some of the gifts for Christmas. One of the things that you can do is they've got all these applications. Well, they need the Christmas gifts and they need the financial donations so they can try to fill all these applications. So that is the big issue now. And if you want to make a donation, you can send a check to the Jackson County Gear Grinders at Post Office Box, Jackson, Ohio, 45640. So that is one way that you can still help.
Okay.
All right, we will turn to sports now. And it was a big weekend in sports. The Jackson Ironmen did not play their football playoff game because they got a bye. They earned a bye, meaning that there was 12 teams in each region that qualify for the playoffs. If you're in the top 4, Jackson was 4. You can take the week off and get ready for the next game. We know now that they're going to be playing the Miami Trace Panthers. Miami Trace won their first round game. Now let me tell you what they did. They played a pretty good Hillsborough team. They were up something like 41-0 at halftime.
Oh, my.
And won 49-8. Now, Miami Trace has had some good teams. They had a really good one this year. And you remember several weeks ago, Jackson went to Miami Trace, came from behind and won 41-27 to make sure that they're going to win their 5th consecutive Frontier Athletic Conference championship. Do you think Miami Trace will have some motivation for this game?
I'm guessing they're going to be a little hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that is who we have to play 7 o'clock on Friday evening at Alumni Stadium. So knowing that we're going to have to be ready for Miami Trace, the Jackson Cheer Boosters Support Club and the Jackson High School cheerleaders are going to try to get the team fired up as if they need it, but, try to get the community fired up to get the spirit going a little early. The cheerleaders and the cheer boosters are doing a project called Paint the Town Red. For a very nominal fee, residents and businesses can have the cheerleaders come around and they will, paint your driveway, paint your window, paint the front of your building, your sidewalk, Jackson Red, Jackson Ironman logo, whatever. They have several different things they can do.
That's awesome.
It doesn't cost very much, and it will support the cheerleaders as well as get the spirit up visually. All proceeds will benefit the cheer program. We have a story that was in our Saturday paper. It was also online. We'll repeat it again in the Wednesday paper. But you just need to hit that link on the Cheer Boosters Facebook page, and you can see what the prices are. It's not very much, like $10 or $15 or something. And they will come and personally do the painting as soon as possible.
Fun.
Also, this Thursday, right out here in the parking lot, there is going to be a tailgate bash event. Thursday evening, the night before the game. There's going to be a bonfire, a pep rally, and they're going to some derelict vehicle is going to be bashed all to hell, just to get fired up. They've done it before, and they're going to do it again. It may even have orange and black collars, which is the colors of Miami Trace.
Oh my!
All right, the University of Rio Grande played their next to last football game last Saturday afternoon at Alumni Stadium, and they lost that game by a score of 56-0. They are 0-9. Has not been a good season if you go by one loss. But remember, this is a first-year program, and they have played their hearts out every week. Andy Meldick, who is from Oak Hill, he graduated from Oak Hill. He's just a freshman. He had 7 tackles in the game. He's having a very good season, but between his defense and also being the punter. He didn't punt this last game for some reason, but he's had a good season punting, I know, in the past. So 1 game left for the University of Rio Grande Red Storm. They will be playing at Bluefield, Virginia on Saturday.
Oh,
and that will complete their season. And from what I understand, there has been a pretty decent attendance at the home games at Alumni Stadium. The Rio Grande alumni, faithful, the boosters, the community, really getting
a lot of support there.
Really getting behind the Red Storm. And this is when they need it the most. They need encouragement. They are playing teams and programs that have been around for a long time. You just don't start up a football program and expect to be up with the teams that have been there for a long time.
Yep.
So, see, what else do I have to tell you? I told you about the Shifting Gears for Christmas Cheer, the Wellston Firefighters for Kids program. That is what they do in Wellston, and this covers the Wellston City School District. Their application period is now open, but not for very long. Everything has to be done online, and your deadline day is next Monday, November the 10th. To qualify, one must live in the Wellston City School District, and to sign up, you have to complete the application form, which you can access on the Wellston Firefighters for Kids Facebook page. The Fire Department or Firefighters Association does its best to fulfill all requests, but the number of specific gift requests will be subject to available donations. Can't give them something if they don't have the donations and the money to do it. So once again, this is another good cause to support,
Yes.
particularly if you're in the Wellston area and you're thinking of kids and families in the Wellston School District. We'll get with you maybe later in the week, Jennifer, on this, but Red Thompson Jr. was down at the Oak Hill Festival of Flags trunk or treat and a parade of masks that they had.
Okay.
Which, we
Fun.
had something like that in Wellston with the block party, something like that at Jackson with the downtown trunk or treat. Hundreds of kids, he said. It was a zoo, he said. So that was a big event down there. We'll have some pictures to show you. And Jenny Ball, once again, and the other soccer moms conducted a great SOS Support Our Soccer Vendor Crafter Shopping Extravaganza. That's a long title, but man, did they have a lot of things there last Saturday at the field house and gymnasium up at the high school. She gave me a very positive report on that.
Good.
And, of course, all that supports the soccer program, which, of course, had a banner year. Both the boys and girls had a good season, and the boys made school history by going to the regional semifinals. So much more to talk about tomorrow that I didn't get to today.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Pete, for stopping by. And, of course, thank you to Jason and Michelle for stopping by, talking about Heavenly Harvest Farm. What a neat thing that they're doing there.
That is very nice.
Really cool.
And I'm sure they probably talked about their motivation and their and what is kind of compelling them to do this. It isn't just a business opportunity.
Right.
They felt really spirit-driven to do this.
Absolutely. All
Good-
with the best of intentions.
Nice people. And boy, I tell you what, who would have thought after, with the way the economy is and the way other orchards have decided, it's just too hard to do. A lot of that is labor.
Yep.
And that there's bigger orchards now in other places. Who would have thought to try that? So
I know.
Best of luck to them.
Absolutely.
Best of luck to them. Sounds like they're off to a good start.
does.
They've been out there for 4 or 5 years. We just didn't know.
Yeah, they're just sneaky about it, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we will be back tomorrow. It looks like Maddie and Josh be in tomorrow. All right, cool. From OSU Extension. So we always have a lot of fun when they come in. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.